In the breathtaking valley of Cloudpeak, where mountains brushed the sky and rivers sparkled like silver ribbons, lived Edgar the Eagle. Edgar was not just any eagle, he was the smartest and most determined of his flock. While others soared gracefully for fun, Edgar practiced every day, determined to become the fastest and best flyer in the entire valley. Someday, I'll be known as the fastest eagle in history, Edgar declared, flapping his wings with excitement. The older eagles chuckled. Speed is not everything, Edgar. Flying is about balance and enjoying the view, they said. But Edgar did not listen. He believed that with enough practice, he could achieve anything. One day, news spread through Cloudpeak of the Great Sky Race, a legendary competition, where only the best flyers could compete. Edgar's eyes sparkled. This is my chance to prove that I'm the best, he said, his feathers quivering with excitement. The day of the race arrived. Eagles, hawks, and falcons from far and wide gathered at the starting line, their wings stretching in anticipation. Edgar sized them up. Some were bigger, others sleeker, but none seemed as determined as he was. Ready, set, go, boomed the announcer, and the racers launched into the air like arrows. Edgar's powerful wings cut through the wind, and he quickly gained the lead. The crowd below cheered, and Edgar felt unstoppable. But as the race continued, the course grew more challenging. First came the Thunder Gap, a narrow pass where sudden gusts of wind pushed the racers against jagged cliffs. Edgar wobbled as a fierce gust nearly knocked him off course. I can do this, he told himself, focusing on steadying his wings. With a deep breath, he zipped through the gap just as a rock slide tumbled behind him. Next was the icy drift, a freezing section of sky where frost-coated wings and made flying difficult. Edgar's feathers stiffened, and his muscles ached from the cold. His competitors passed him, one by one. For the first time, doubt crept into Edgar's heart. Maybe I'm not as good as I thought, he muttered, gliding slower. As Edgar trailed behind, he noticed a young falcon struggling to stay airborne. She was shivering, her wings heavy with frost. Despite his own exhaustion, Edgar swooped down beside her. Hold on, he said, guiding her to a warmer current of air. The falcon smiled gratefully before flying off to safety. You can do this, Edgar whispered to himself, his determination flickering back to life. The final stretch of the race was the sky spiral, a towering column of air that twisted higher and higher into the clouds. Many racers had already given up, and Edgar's wings felt like lead. I've come so far, he thought, looking up at the swirling winds. I can't quit now. Summoning every ounce of strength, Edgar began the climb. The winds roared, and the clouds swirled around him. But Edgar remembered all his hours of practice and the confidence he once felt. Believe in yourself, he said aloud. You've got this. With each beat of his wings, Edgar pushed harder, faster, higher. The crowd below gasped as Edgar burst through the top of the spiral, the first to reach the finish line. Cheers erupted as Edgar landed gracefully on the winner's perch, his chest heaving but his heart soaring. The announcer crowned him the fastest flyer of Cloudpeak. But Edgar realized something even greater. His journey had been about more than just speed. Helping the falcon, facing his doubts, and never giving up had made him stronger than he ever thought possible. As the sun set over the valley, Edgar stood tall, his wings outstretched. I believed in myself, he said softly, smiling as the wind carried his words across the crowd. And I became more than I ever imagined. From that day on, Edgar's story was told in every nest across Cloudpeak, inspiring young birds to believe in themselves, no matter how hard the journey might seem.
Believe in yourself, and you can achieve anything.